Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all the latest news that happened during the week of mobile and answer your questions live. If you have any questions you want to ask, just ask them in the comment section down below and I will answer it before the end of the show. Alright guys, we got a lot of stuff to cover, Samsung specifically, but I do want to let you know I did finally get the iPhone in stock. Now this is the regular standard iPhone, didn't get the Pro or the Pro Max. Just wanted to test it out, review some cases, and let me know if you want to see any specific videos from me on this phone, and I'm going to explain why I do get an iPhone every single year and why it's important. So let's go ahead and get started with the news. So first off, the Galaxy S21, the specs have really grown to leak, and I thought it'd be easier if I made a chart for it so we can see what we're getting. And it really, I wish a couple more things leaked, like pricing, RAM, and storage. Those are three things that I really want to know, and I think three things that are going to make or break this device in comparison to the S20. The S20 was a failure. By pretty much most accounts. They didn't start selling a lot till the S20 FE. That's what really drove the sales. So I'm really curious to see what happens with the S21 if Samsung did indeed learn their lesson, which I'm seeing some things that suggest they did if they priced it correctly. In my opinion, the S21 should start at $799. That should be the starting price for it for the standard S21. And let's go over why. So this is what we're getting from the device, and I'll just kind of spread it out just so we have it bigger here. I just made this chart, very basic Excel. So S21, 6.2 inch display, full HD, 120 hertz display. 4,000 milliamp battery, 12 megapixel main camera, 12 megapixel ultra wide, 64 megapixel no optical telephoto, which means you're just cropping in a digital image. And finally, you have a material of glastic, basically plastic or polyfiber carbonate. I don't know if that's right, but it's the plastic that they had used previously, basically a higher quality version of it, but one basically they had not used since like the S5, and then just replaced the glass with this on the Galaxy FE. And again, I think there are definitely benefits to plastic, and one of them should be also lower cost, hopefully, but we'll have to wait and see again. I think that one should start at $799. S21 Plus, we have a 6.7 inch display. 120 Hz FHD display is still the same. 4,800 milliamp battery, 12 megapixel, 64 megapixel, no optical, no confirmation on material yet. So yeah, so that is one thing that there's no confirmation on it yet. So we'll have to wait and see if that ends up being glass or plastic. I personally think it should still be glass, just because once you're hitting the $1,000 price point, which I believe this one should be priced at $1,000, I think you're more lining up with premium, and that should be glass. Okay, now the big one and the one that everyone's going to be talking about. The S21 Ultra, 6.8 inch, 120 hertz, WQHD display plus, which means 1440p, 120 hertz. The one thing that everyone's wanted for like about a year now from Samsung, this one will deliver in terms of display. Now this will also be the, I forget what it's called, LTPO I think, or something along those lines. Yeah, LTPO. Which basically means it's a variable refresh rate in terms of the 120 hertz. So we can go all the way to all the way up to 120. So it's a wide, obviously, refresh rate. So we're going to be seeing that from this one, which should save battery life. 5,000 milliamp battery, which we had in last year's model. 12 megapixel. This is, it is not a 12 megapixel main sensor. It's a 108 megapixel main sensor. Have to edit that. So that is a 108 megapixel main sensor, 12 megapixel ultra wide, 10 megapixel 3x optical, same one we got last year, kind of, and then 10 megapixel 10 times optical. That has never been done and it should lead to a possible even bigger hump, because how telephoto works in these phones is basically it's going up and down in terms of the lens has to move up and down. So the hump should either be bigger, basically, like we should have a longer hump, is what I'm guessing we're going to have with the S21 Ultra. It's going to be longer to basically make it happen for that telescopic telephoto camera. It will be glass, and it will have a 1600 nit brightness as opposed to the 1400 nit brightness that the S20 Ultra had. And it will have S Pen support, but it will not come with an S Pen. So that is really big in multiple areas, because that means most likely that we're either going to get a Note 21 or we're going to get a Galaxy Fold 3 with S Pen built in, because this is not replacing it, it is merely going to support it. Now what that means is Samsung will probably make S Pens for a while that they haven't done this. Basically a clickable like S Pen, basically a bigger size, full size S Pen that you can carry around with you, or that's the standard size of pen. I actually had the C Pen a while ago, and that one came out with the Galaxy S3, and that one was a very fine tip pen like the one that I showed you that'll work for every phone but the Fold. So this one is the Dash 3, for instance, and this is a full-size pen that really works on pretty much every phone except for the Galaxy Fold 2. But the thing about this kind is that it's a full-size pen. So you're going to see something like this, a full-size S Pen for this phone coming out, which I like the idea of a full-size S Pen anyway. I really do love it with the tablets. And although with the tablet it doesn't really work to have a clip, it obviously definitely should be on a standalone S Pen that's going to be separate from the device. So yes. Now some news on those cameras as well. So for the 108 megapixel main camera on the S21 Ultra, again I apologize for that error, it's not a 12 megapixel. I did make this quickly right before the video. It is going to be a second generation, which should have basically better resolve in terms of clarity. And the thing is, it will still have phase detection, but it looks like we will be getting laser focus, just like we did on the Note 21. So it's kind of bummer that we still don't have the dual pixel autofocus, which Samsung was so well known for. Dual pixel autofocus will still be on the S21 and S21 Plus. That is the fastest focus. It's what Canon professional cameras have. So it was Samsung's you can never beat Samsung in terms of focus. Laser focus is good, but it's not as close to dual pixel focus, but that was a big part of it. The other thing is, it looks like the telephoto sensor is going to be a much bigger sensor this time around. So it's going to be a better quality sensor on the telephoto. So they're really planning on making telephotos kind of a huge highlight of this phone on the Ultra. Meaning that not only will you they're not focusing on the space zoom anymore. They're more focused on your 3x optical will be good in low light still. You don't need to switch over. And your 10x optical will be basically the similar quality to what the 5x was before on last year's model. So huge emphasis on that. Will it be the biggest thing ever? I personally would like them to more focus on the middle area, and that is the ultra wide camera. I want to see improvement on the ultra wide camera, especially in camera quality, yes, but also bigger sensor. I want to see it have better video quality on the ultra wide. I think that would honestly be a lot better. Not to mention, we don't see anything about the selfie camera on this one, but I hope Samsung makes a wider selfie camera. I don't understand why that's not more of a focus, because I think a lot of people would appreciate that a lot more than most of these changes. All right, now that we have everything over here, again, the date right now is January 14th is the rumor. I still don't believe it. I've stated my case many times. This is not the first time we've heard this, so definitely curious to see what's going to happen. All right, Um, and I will say that this case, I don't know if this was completely Photoshop, but it really does look great with it. But yeah, so this was just more on the sensor size being bigger for the telephoto camera. That it should be very interesting to see how big this camera is. And yes. All right. Then could Samsung be coming out with their own rollable phone, the Galaxy Roll? And it is possible. This was a trademark that they did and that Let's Go Digital mimicked basically from Samsung a while back. But here's the thing. One of the VPs, I think it was, who was it? Yeah, the vice chairman was photographed with this phone, and it's not the right size in terms of thickness for a foldable, but it looks like it could open up. So very interesting in terms of that. I think it's a very interesting concept. We've seen some from TCL. We've seen stuff from a lot of different manufacturers. LG teased it last time, and we talked about it last week, actually. So this is definitely a possibility, but again, I think it's just a very interesting other option. And I like that we can make phones different from just a slab again. You know, that's what's the most interesting to me about foldable phones, rollable phones, that phones aren't just going to be the same thing again. So yeah. All right. So on the precipice of 5G, currently right now, a satellite just blasted off from China this weekend, basically going to test 6G speeds that are 100 times faster than 5G. And here's the biggest part of it is that one, we really are, I would say we need to get better at 5G right now because 5G in the US isn't obviously that great. It's really not. I think everyone could agree on that now. Now that people are testing it on iPhones, it's for some reason a bigger deal. But basically, it's really interesting to see how we're going to get a change, everyone moving over to 5G, but how many people are really going to notice a difference? So T-Mobile has even said that they're going to change some of their advertising on it. So again, not to mislead customers, I think the biggest egregious one definitely was still AT&T because they just flat out said like, oh yeah, you got 5GE, and it literally was just 4G with a new branding on it. So it really is something that when I see this, yeah, it's cool that they're already getting started on it. But one, other countries need to do it too. Obviously, you can't have one country like China, Korea, or one country get ahead so far. Multiple countries need to get on this, need to agree on the technology, make sure it's safe, everything, yada, yada, yada. But it really is something that we need to perfect 5G long before we can really get to 6G. Even if the 6G is 100 times faster than even 5G is, it's really curious to see how fast it will be consistently. Because I'll tell you what, I don't need 1,000 megabits per second. I don't need 2 gigabytes download speed. What I really need is just 300 up and down. Can you give me that? Can you give me that on an average basis? 200 to 300 up and down. That's what I want from 5G. I think getting that would be something game changing. And yes, the best part of it to me would be that we would probably get rid of satellite companies and cable companies that have really, in my opinion, really messed up customers for the longest time. So I am so looking forward to it. I hope that we can just get that because I'll tell you what, I will gladly change my spectrum in a heartbeat for any provider that can give me faster speed in my home. I miss the days I had Fios in my last house, and I just wish I had better speeds overall. All right, OnePlus. Now, what is OnePlus cooking up here? So OnePlus apparently, reportedly, is having the OnePlus 9 already in talks for next year. And why would it look like this? Well, it's kind of interesting. So We do know that's going to have the Snapdragon 875. It's going to have 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs for the base model, 12 gigs and 2 to 6 configurable. 5,000 milliamp battery with that 65 watt fast charge. That's really interesting that they're going to go that big on battery. OnePlus hasn't had that big of a battery before, so I'm curious. But the curiosity is that these CAD renders are showing these really big main and wide cameras, which is good because one of the biggest criticisms OnePlus has gotten recently is stop giving us all these extra cameras. We don't need them. We just need 2 main cameras, maybe a third with telephoto, as Samsung's really going out with the Ultra. But you really want 2 main cameras, the regular and the ultra wide, and we want big sensors on them. If OnePlus can deliver a good camera, that's what they've been missing all along. So I'd be very curious to see if OnePlus can actually offer that this next year. All right, so guess who's going to make the M1 chip? Samsung will probably be one of them, it looks like. Yes, so if you know who makes Apple's processors, it for the longest time has been Samsung and TSMC. TSMC grew a lot. Apple preferred them just so they wouldn't be giving everything to Samsung, and they outputted more from them for a while now. But they're kind of getting close to their cap already with all the iPhones that they sell. So it looks like Samsung might be the only other option. And that is considering that, you know, they need a lot of output from it. Now, Samsung is one of the main manufacturers of obviously their own Exynos chip. They are going to be one of the main manufacturers of the Snapdragon 875, once again making Qualcomm processors as well. And it looks like they're going to be making the M1 chip for Apple based on the output that TSMC is already doing. It does not look like they would be able to do it all the way. So yeah. And Disney Plus is really growing. I just wanted to touch on this because I have long said that, you know, I thought Disney Plus would overcome Netflix. I really thought they did. I really thought that, honestly, Disney Plus, I think I said in 3 years, would overtake Netflix. I may have said 2 years even. Obviously, I think the pandemic changed a lot of things when it comes to that because Netflix still grew with that. But 73.7 million in their first year is really impressive. And mind you, they have not had another show that was a big hit besides The Mandalorian. So with one show, one special, Hamilton, that has been it. That has been everything. But it's just a huge library that Disney has. Disney, I mean, you have every, you know, Disney princess movie now there. You have every Marvel movie there. You are going to get more and more movies, and it's just, it's better pricing than everyone else too. So I think with all that, they definitely had the right pace. They had everything in the right way. And I think you're going to see more and more as 2021 comes along. Because what are we getting? For Christmas, you're going to get the Soul Pixar movie. But the biggest one is going to be WandaVision, a Marvel series. The first Marvel series is finally launching January 15th. And I think that is going to increase their numbers by a lot. So it's very just interesting to see the streaming wars thing. By the way, I did sign up for Peacock as well. So I'm really going to kind of, I think, give a full review of, I now have Netflix. I'm probably going to get rid of and just treat it like HBO used to be, where when they have a good show, subscribe to it, and then end it. That's probably what's going to happen with Netflix for me. But I'm on their lowest tier now. I have HBO Max. I share a sign-in with 2 other people, so it's $5 a month for me. Totally fine with that. Disney Plus I got for 3 years on their deal, which was only $3 a month. So yeah, I'm good with that for the next 3 years, or 2 years now. And then finally, I just got Peacock. I got their middle one, which still does have some commercials, which I do find annoying. But I got it for half off, so it was $25 for the full year. So I'm going to test out all of them, see how they are, and kind of give my feedback overall. And it's very interesting because, you know, each of the family has different likes and dislikes about different parts of it. But it's really interesting to see, like, for my son, for instance, what does Peacock offer in kids content? What does HBO Max offer in kids content? HBO Max, in my opinion, rules because of Sesame Street. So it's just like, it's very interesting to see which ones offer. Obviously, Disney Plus has the entire Disney library, but not really geared towards like babies, I would say. I would say it's geared towards kids. So it's just very interesting to see which one plays in which way and in what space. Kind of interesting to see overall. And of course, nostalgia plays a factor into all of them. I'm seeing like, oh, that one has House MD. Oh, that one has Charmed. That one has, it's like all these old shows when I was growing up. Like, oh, so it's very interesting to see all of that. So yeah. All right, guys, now we are going to answer your questions. But before I do, I want to give a shout out to the first, or I'm not sure if it's the first, but definitely one of the first, Michael T. Thank you for joining our membership. I really do appreciate it, and I wanted to give you a shout out. Thank you for that. And I know there are other members here. Now, when you are a member, the really cool part is you have that member tag next to your name. So thank you for all members that have subscribed to the channel membership. It's, I believe, I think it's 99 cents or $1.99 to join, and you already have been uploaded the first episode of Tech Talk Drives, which is basically, I'm just going to talk about stuff. I think the first episode was about like 30 minutes or 20 minutes or so of just me talking about everything with Apple chips, with the M1 processor, the good, the bad, what this really means for the industry, and what Apple definitely took liberties with in their presentation. So if you want to check out those videos, again, these are just extra content videos that will be coming out at least once a week. And then they're going to have exclusive live shows once a month, where it'll be more intimate, because it's just going to be, if you want tech support, if you want whatever you want, we're going to do once a month more personal live shows for just the members. All right. So yeah, all of those memberships and all the details are in the membership. So if you click join, you can join whatever tier you want. And I have 3 different tiers, including behind the scenes stuff and all that kind of stuff for you guys. All right, so let's get started with this. Google Photos charging as of June 1st, 2021. I don't think I'm going to get into this because I feel like it deserves a tech rant. And I had people ask me to do a tech rant about it. I am most definitely going to. It's the way I am for sure. But yeah, it's really, really upsetting. Google Photos is the one thing I've recommended to people since it launched. Because since it launched, it was really something that it was the best thing ever to store your photos. There was nothing that rivaled it. It was unlimited photo backup at high quality, which high quality was still 16 megapixels compressed, but it would not downgrade the pixel size, basically. It would compress it, but the size of the photo would be the same. Then you also had up to 1080p, so it would downgrade a 4K video, but it would still have it in 1080p. As of June 1st, 2021, if you do not own a Pixel 5 or older, you will no longer be getting those kind of benefits. Now, on your Pixel 5, so say I have 2 phones, because I've asked about this. If you have 2 phones, my Pixel 5 will still get unlimited high quality photos, unlimited backed up, but even though I have both phones at the same time, this phone will not count towards my data in terms of storage, and this phone will. So that is a clarification, just so you guys know. Then here's the other big thing that I will say does really help, in all honesty. Shouldn't happen in the first place, but whatever. What really does help is that everything from May 31st, May 31st, 2021, and before, does not count towards your storage. So all of that does not count towards your storage. So very important thing here, if you have not backed up your entire photo library to Google Photos, do that now if you even think about doing it. Because you can always delete it later. But if you have not, for free, you have unlimited storage until May 31st, 2021. So that's very important. So yeah, all right. Just wanted to get all that out there. And again, you can upload your photos from your computer. You can upload your photos from a phone, anywhere you want. Basically, you can, save all your GIFs, save like whatever thing you want to be saved onto Google Photos. You can save it now while you still have unlimited photo backup. High quality, not original quality. Okay. 6 gigs of RAM on the iPhone 12 Max Pro. I'm loving it. Yeah, I honestly, I'm very curious about the Pro Max more than any other phone. For me, it just wasn't financially feasible for me to get that one. This one I did not buy. I have it on lend from another YouTuber. And basically, I'm just going to do some case videos from some case manufacturers, some glass screen protectors, and all that kind of stuff that some manufacturers sent me. And those are the only things I planned on doing. I will see if I do anything else. But that was one of the things that I wanted to get done now before, while the iPhone was still the top of mind and everything like that. But yeah, I wish I could have got the Pro Max because that's the one with the best camera that they have, and it's the one with more RAM. Because I will say this, what always gets to me is, people that always say, oh, iPhone is buttery smooth. It is buttery smooth. You can't, it's just so fast. It's just so fast. It moves so quick. It's just the best thing ever. Here's the thing about that. It's not for a power user. I'm a power user, and I've always said that, right? I've always said that, I'll be the one to tell you how the battery life actually is because I'm going to be the one that streams like crazy, that does driving 2 hours with Google Maps, that games, that does everything that drains your battery the most. So I will be testing it the same way each time and telling you how the battery life really is. So according to those same exact standards. So you can know if you're a heavy user like that, you do it. I also do split screen a lot, more than most people. It's why I'm so loving of foldable phones and dual screen phones and all these different kind of concepts because I'm so much into multitasking. So that being said, with all of that, Apple has always stuttered and has always crashed apps, has always had issues when I have used it. Every single iPhone. So when someone tells me that, oh man, but this is so fast, it's so buttery smooth, it's the greatest thing ever, I've used it. So I know how it is for average consumers, and I know how it is for heavy users. And every single time it's stuttered, I know this one has 6 gigs of RAM, so it might change the game when it comes to the iPhone. But again, I used to shoot videos of it because people didn't believe me. I used to shoot videos of it crashing, stuttering, crashing apps and everything like that. But here was the thing that I always found funny with Android. Android had a pop-up because it was kind of like a PC in that aspect of your app has crashed. Apple doesn't. Apple just closes the app. And then when you tap it again, it opens up a fresh app, which means the app crashed. But people didn't count that. And I've always found that funny that distinction was made. I don't think it will be a full-size S Pen. They are saying they will make cases to have the S Pen housing. They will make cases that will have the S Pen housing. From what I've heard, it does not have an S Pen. Again, that could be wrong, but as far as I know, it does not have an S Pen built in, so there's no silo for the S Pen for the S20. S21, everything has said that. So yeah. Why is OtterBox slow at making MagSafe cases? Probably because it's going to be difficult for something that thick to work with MagSafe. The magnets aren't that strong. You can see that from the wallet case. It's really not that strong to be able to do that. So I don't know how OtterBox will do that. My guess is they're not going to make one, and they're only going to make, if they make it, it'll be a very thin case. I forgot their line of thinner cases now. Not the Symmetry, the thinner one than the Symmetry. Those would probably be the only ones that would do it. Have you tried macOS Big Sur? No. I do work with a lot of people that have Macs at my day job, so I'm going to check it out and kind of play around with it. But no, I have not checked it out yet. I know they might not even update it right away because it's a work computer, so they might not be able to. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. Everybody drink. When is Samsung AMD coming? That was rumored to come at the end of next year. So if we see it, we might see it in the end of 2021. That is if all the timeline still stays the same. That was when that we expected it to begin with. Hey, Mullet Baby, thank you for joining. If you guys don't know, we are in the presence of one of the best leakers in the business. So definitely curious to see what he has to say. Let's go ahead and read it. 6G will be using the same bands as 3G, which will shut down in the US as of February 2022. 5G Advanced is the beta and the concept for what 6G can be. Very interesting. And I have heard that 3G is shutting down. T-Mobile is going to be the first one to do it. If you didn't know, T-Mobile 3G is shutting down in a month and a half. January, I think it was either January 1st or January 31st, I could be wrong on that, of 2021, 3G will be shutting down. So if you don't have a 4G phone at T-Mobile, your phone will stop working. So that's just, I mean, most phones, even flip phones, have had 4G for the past 2 years. So you should be fine, but if, just so you know, if you really have an old phone that's still on 3G, it will not work as of then. And I did not know that was the reason that 6G is working on the same band, but that makes complete sense because from what I've heard is every carrier will follow that trend and get rid of 3G, which makes sense if it's the same band that 6G will be. Very interesting, and thank you for always dropping that knowledge, Mullet Baby. Appreciate it. All right, let's see. Walking around Manhattan with my 12 Pro Max is showing 5G symbol most of the time. Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to have 5G, of course. You're not going to have 5G millimeter wave. I believe the iPhone does distinguish that. I know most Androids do. But when you're in millimeter wave, that's a little bit different from regular 5G. I have 5G everywhere I go in Los Angeles, pretty much. I think literally if I go on like PCH, so along the coast, that's the only place I don't get it. But everywhere else, and I have gone, I work about, 40 miles away from my house. So in that entire stretch, there's not one part that I do not have 5G on. Until, again, when I go on a PCH freeway, that's the only time when it goes to 4G. But every other time besides that, I get 5G. But again, it's mid-band and low-band, not necessarily the high band, which is the fastest speed. But I would just kill for a good mid-band most of the time because those are speeds 100 to 300 megabits per second, and that's what I want to see more of for sure. Do you recommend the Nanny wireless charger? Let me see. I do not know what that is. You know, I have seen this one before. It's very inexpensive, I don't think, does it come with a power brick? I don't think it does, right? I think that was the main thing, that you have to get your own power brick, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, they look okay. I haven't used it personally, so I can't say I definitely recommend it, but I like standing ones. It's a 2 coil instead of a 3 coil, so it may be that the placement isn't perfect, but it's 10-watt fast charging, which you gotta love. It's non-slippery coating, which that is really good. Just always make sure it comes in place. And yes, it does not have an AC adapter. This is the one he is talking about for anyone that wants to check this out. I mean, it's a very, very inexpensive. It's on sale for, well, it's about to be off because it's a lightning deal, but it's on sale for $13.55. Really good price for it. I was really big on wireless charging when it first came out. So all my chargers are pretty much 10 watt and 7.5 watt and up. Now, I don't think anyone's are the old 5 watts chargers anymore in my house. I literally have extra ones that, like, I got out of the garage recently. I don't know who remembers this one, the sliding charger. This one, old, beat up and everything like that, but this one I had when it first came out, and yeah, this was the first one with fans, just to keep it cool. But yeah, I have so many that I just need to have new places in the house to keep them. So yeah. All right. Can wireless charging stands charge true wireless earphones? Yes, they can. Mine, so I have this one that's always at my desk. It's the dual charging one from Samsung. So this is the older model because this is the one that stands up. The other one lays flat entirely. And so this one will charge your phones, and this little one over here will charge your watches as well as your headphones. So if I go ahead and put these Pixel Buds right here, it will start to charge them. So very simple and easy. I think the only one that still doesn't use wireless charging is the Apple Watch, but even the Apple headphones would charge no problem here. The Samsung Galaxy Buds will too, and some new headphones we're going to be getting soon, which I'm so excited for because I'm pretty sure they're going to be the best headphones of the year. That I'm very, very excited for. 2 weeks should be able to say more. When you set your screen timeout settings on your laptop to 1 minute, would that 1 minute timeout also be automatically on a secondary monitor that is connected to via HDMI? Ooh, interesting. Yes, yes, it would. Yeah, that would happen. It should automatically be because your monitor's turning off, which means the monitor should be turned off. Even if it's extended or even if it's doubling it, it should turn off automatically. Yes. If you have a third monitor connected with the laptop, yes, same thing. If it's a second or a third one, whatever you have your main monitor set to should be on all of them. Let's see. In the market for a tablet, what do you recommend, please? The Galaxy Tab A7 or the Tab S6 Lite? I would definitely recommend the Tab S6 Lite. It was on an amazing, great deal on Samsung's website. I can't say it out loud, but I got it for someone's Christmas present. No, I got the Tab S6. The Tab S6 was on sale for like a slight difference to the Tab S Lite this past weekend. I had my friends and family discount as well, so I got it for like, I think it was like 300 or so. Like, so tablets are on a really, really good sale price right now. The funny thing is I got that one, right? So I got the regular 6, and I got it for like 3. But the trade-in of that tablet for the S7 or S7 Plus is 500. So even though I just bought it brand new for 3, I could trade it in for 5. towards a new tablet, which I find really hilarious. So yeah, I bought, for the price I bought it, it's actually a greater trade-in value. So Samsung has some really great deals right now. I'll try to check it out right now, but I would easily get the Tab S6 Lite. I think it's definitely going to be the better deal, and I think it's just overall a really, really good tablet. I mean, that would be my main tablet to recommend for anyone, with the exception of if a person wanted an AMOLED display, then it would be the Tab S5e. But other than that, yeah, the Tab S6 Lite is such a good tablet. So let me see, what price is it right now? So right now, the 64 gig is $350. And hold on one second. Or no, wait, it's on sale. Well, hold on. It's on sale, let's see. Also, one thing I always recommend is if you want to check out the tablet's price, check and see if your job has a work save program with Samsung. How you can do that is basically just sign in via your work email address, and you might get a discount. Like T-Mobile, I think I told that to someone recently, and he had no idea. He got like a 10% to 30% off, depending on the product category. So always check that if you're looking at a tablet. So let's see. Let's open an incognito mode so I see the regular price of it. So yeah, so this one is $275 right now. Or is that with trade-in? Hold on, let me check. That's the thing I hate about Samsung's website now. They always give you the price with the trade-in. So no, it's just $350. So the Tab S6 Lite is $350, and the Tab S6 is $479. So the Tab S6 is on sale right now for about $130 more. But if you don't need that power, and if you don't want the AMOLED with the longer battery, remember that one was about a 15-hour battery life, or 11 to 15 hours. I think it was 11-hour video. But yeah, so if you want the AMOLED display for $130 and the more power, it's not bad. But yeah, the Tab S6 Lite for $350, great tablet for the price. And if you can get it on sale, even better. I'm sure you can get it on sale at some places for even cheaper, especially during Black Friday. I know Best Buy is going to have it, and that video will be coming out, I believe, on Wednesday for the best deals on Best Buy. All right, let's get back to the questions. I might have asked before, but which brand has the best screen protector or privacy screen protector? Again, for me, I have always gotten, most people know on the channel, I always have gotten the Galaxy, or sorry, not the Galaxy. I've always gotten the Whitestone Dome Glass. So it's the same one that I always said, this is a little one for the camera. But basically, I've always gotten those. I've always loved it. I actually have a chip, if you can see it on the screen, from a nasty bang that happened to it. The glass got chipped on the screen protector, but it's not even all the way off. It's that, because it has a coating on it, which also gives a blue light filter for it without even noticing. And yeah, so that part basically got taken off, but the glass is still behind it for the screen protector is intact. So yeah, so that's definitely the one I always go with, Whitestone Dome Glass. I literally have it on every phone that I own, that they make it for, I should say. Let's see. When are paid apps sold at the least price? Is it during Black Friday, or does it run a single day apps Play Store wanting to buy Nova Launcher Pro? Yes, Black Friday, a lot of app developers do get in the spirit of giving, you could say, or spirit of discounts. So yeah, you will see them often have sales during that time. But yeah, it would be. I would just probably check it once a week because if they do a sale, it's typically for at least a week period. So yeah, I would typically check your apps once a week to see if the one you want is on sale, and if it's not, then you know. What is a good mini PC that is fast, cheap, when you have everything else already? Or is it better to buy a cheap laptop, not a gamer? A good mini PC that is flat, cheap when you have everything else already. What do you mean by everything else? Do you mean a monitor? Do you mean keyboard, mouse? Um, I get it, you're not a gamer, but like, again, always the minimum I recommend. The minimum I recommend is an i5 processor for Intel or a Ryzen 5 processor for AMD, and 8 gigs of RAM minimum with a recommendation of 16. Here's why. 8 gigs is definitely the minimum you should run Windows on, period. But 16 is what I recommend for most people because although you might be fine with 8 gigs now, trust me, as you use an electronics more and more over time, it has never failed. I used to work at Best Buy, I used to work at Circuit City. Every time customers would come back, they wish they had gotten more RAM. And that's the biggest thing that they ask for on their next device. So I always said to people, I'm like, look, you can get this. It's a really great deal. It's very inexpensive, but you want this. My wife just bought a new computer, and I was looking at everything for her, and I was like, I don't want you to have less than 12 gigs of RAM. I do not want you. She's like, oh, well, you know, I get it. People think they don't need more, but I would always recommend getting 16. That's just my recommendation. 8 is the absolute minimum that I recommend for anything. I don't care. Oh, but I'm not really doing that much. Trust me. Trust me. 8 is the minimum. Do not get a 4. Do not get Celeron. Do not get Pentium. Do not get M3. I don't recommend any of those because, again, you might be okay now, but that is something you cannot change, and it's just not worth it. It's better to get an old i5 processor than a new i3, than a new M3, than a new Pentium, than a new Celeron. Trust me, you're better off just getting a used one if possible, refurbished, whatever you need to do, but it's not worth it to get those Atom, Celeron, Pentium processors. They get old so quick. Get used better, get refurbished better. It's well worth the price. Sliding camera won't be on the S30, S21. This is from Mullet Baby, so you can take it to the bank. Sliding camera won't be on the S30 to S31. They also are going to the Apple package route to give you the phone, battery with 0 charge, and no headphones and slow watt charger. Now that is interesting because the rumor right now is that the Ultra will still have a 25 watt charger, but specifically only the Ultra. So it's very interesting if they give you a slow watt charger. If they still give you a charger, hey, that's better than Apple. But it is interesting if they go the slow route one. Definitely sucked. How do you get notification alerts on the S20 Plus like the previous S8? Example, flashing light. You don't really get a flashing light. You can get an edge display. So that's the closest thing to a flashing light basically now. The main reason why is, again, this is me. I know everyone's different, but you have an always on display now. You have an always on display now. What that means is your icons will all be right here. Like, I don't have to, have those because my icons are all right here so I can see everything on a display. That's why they got rid of it. Once we had always on display, to me, I truly do agree that it's outdated, the light blinking. I know a lot of people want it, know a lot of people like it. So if you want something like it, what you can get is edge display. So edge display is in your settings. You can go in it, you can activate it, you can customize it more if you download, what's it called? Good Lock. If you're in the US or certain countries that accept it, Samsung has Good Lock, which is like a beta app that basically does everything better than what Samsung does normally. And that one, they have an enhanced edge display, which will light up basically, and you can keep it pulsating just like a light, and it does it around the entire edge of the screen. So that would be the closest thing to the blinking light LED. Can you recommend software to have all screens on your laptop secondary, third, and same hue of low blue light mode? No. I do not know what that would be, Anthony. Sorry. The software that I use does do a lot more than I needed to, but I don't think it does anything near blue light because there's too many variables there. Different monitors use different technology for blue light filtering. I mean, you know what would be better? Getting glasses that do it all together. So if you get gamer glasses or anything like that, these will filter out all the blue light and all at the same thing. So, but yeah, I don't know of any software that does that. Again, the software I use for my huge 49-inch monitor is called, what is it called? Display Fusion Pro. And that allows me to kind of align all the tabs the way I want it to, so I can align windows exactly how I want it to. It really has a lot of features that I do not use. I do not know if it has that, but it does a lot with monitors across multiple monitors too. When you have multiple monitors, you can program everything to go a certain way too. So it's really good in a lot of cases. Let's see. Who still had 3 phones nowadays? What is up with MFS? What do you mean by MFS? Am I just... I'm not sure what you mean by MFS. Let me know what you mean. Whoa! Whole bunch of questions loaded. Everybody drink. Oh! Whoa, let me look back at that. So, Mullet Baby just said, in that image that we were showing with the, I think he was the VP, right? He was actually wearing the prototype for the band. Wait, that's not a shirt? Or is it the other guy that has it? I don't see it. I could be wrong. Or is it the guy talking to the vice chairman? But what the band is basically, the band is supposed to be the thing that Samsung ends up replacing the S Pen technology with, so that your hand would be able to touch it kind of in the air. So basically, for the lack of better terms, because I'm charging this right now, it would kind of be like this force band that I have right here, right? So you put a band on, and you kind of control it like that. Obviously a lot more sensitive than this was, but I just found this in the garage, and I cannot wait to test it out with my son. I think it's going to be hilarious. For those of you who don't remember this, this was paired with the little BB-8 that rolled, and those two together made for a lot of fun with my dog back in the day, but now I can test it out with my son, so that should be really amazing. LOL, I still use that sliding charger one. There you go. I'm going to pick up the Skull Crusher Evos. Skull Crusher Evos need a good bassy headphones. Skull Crusher Evos. Is that from Skull Candy, I'm guessing? Yeah. Hopefully you can get them. They're sold out on their website. They're wired headphones. I mean, I got a 4 out of 5 from Mashable. Overall sound quality is just shown as okay, but I guess for the price, $200 is the price. Heavy bass, even if more expensive than competition that provides richer total sound quality, was their overall assessment on those. Let's see. What are your thoughts? Oh, whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. Everybody drink. What are your thoughts on the Peanut special missing from broadcast TV this year due to Apple? It would be interesting if CBS and Warner Brothers stepped into the specials back on TV. It's very interesting. Very interesting. I thought the Peanuts movie that happened a couple of years ago, I remember I took my daughter to see it. I thought it was great. I thought it was like a great revival of Peanuts, and I was like, oh man, I wonder if they can really make a comeback. And now Apple's going to be the one who produces it if it does. But the main thing is that they got the rights to the Christmas special and the Thanksgiving special. So yeah, I think it sucks in my opinion, but I definitely can see overall it's a good move on Apple's part. You want to get exclusive content. That's the name of the game. I don't think it's really great for consumers because I don't think a lot of people have Apple TV or want to get Apple TV. It's dead last, I feel like, in everything that goes to it. I think that's the reason Apple really hasn't revealed too much about the numbers, because Apple's game for investors is if it doesn't make us look good, we're not going to tell investors. That's what they do. The fact that they're able to do that, I have a whole other issue with, but yeah. A7, Tab A7 is 169. Now the Lite is around 250. I would say the Lite is definitely worth the price difference for sure, in my opinion. But yeah, the Lite is definitely a great one, so I would get the Tab A6 Lite over the Tab A7, personally. I think it's better in the long run. I would avoid the E9, and kids' tablets are not worth the headaches, definitely. Can you recommend a budget 34-inch ultra-wide QLED monitor? I do not know any off the top of my head. I haven't looked at some monitors for a while. If I see any for Black Friday, I will be checking them out when I look at the Best Buy stuff. Also, we're going to be doing, of course, the best deals on Black Friday. So on Black Friday, I'm going to be checking at midnight. I'll be doing the live video and then update it throughout the day on what are the best deals on Amazon. So all of that stuff I will be doing that day. Or Samsung's Black Friday prices, which are cheaper than employee discount. Use Samsung Pay, get extra percentage off. Yes, or if you don't use Samsung Pay, definitely use Rakuten, I think is the name. Rakuten, I think is the name. There you get up to 10% back off with Samsung purchases. So like I just made a Samsung purchase recently. I got $21 back. So definitely always use either Rakuten if you're on a PC. I think you can maybe use the app too on Android. And if you use Samsung Pay to pay for it, then get double, triple points. That's what it's all about. Can you recommend a PD power bank that is able to charge the Surface Pro or something like a Dell XPS 2-in-1 convertible? The best one that I have is the Mophie Power Station, which I think I have the Mophie Power Station Plus. Mophie Power. I think I have the Mophie Power Station Plus. Or is it? Or Plus XL, maybe, that's it. Which one do I have? Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Mophie Store. Oh, wait, no. Power stations. The one I had also has a wall outlet. All I really see is their smaller ones on Amazon now. Maybe they don't make that one anymore. I'm guessing that's the case because I don't see it on their store. But yeah, that one has a PD charger and it has, let me see if Best Buy has it. Let me look at another question in the meantime. What does archive mean on Google Photos? That is changing actually, I believe, because it used to mean that basically it wouldn't show up on the main part, but that you can always recall it. Now I think they're getting rid of that though. So yeah. Yeah, they don't make mine anymore for sure. But there's lots of PD charger ones. But what you want, if you want to be able to charge, like, what were you saying? Like a Surface Pro, a PD is okay, right? But you want a wall outlet one. So, like, right now, Mophie has a wall outlet one that is like a car jump starter and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. I'll find one for you for Black Friday. I'll see what the latest one is, because yeah, again, mine. Or wait, there's Power Station AC. Oh no, that's not it. Never mind. But yeah, so there are plenty of other ones that have a wall outlet now, but that's the main thing I would recommend to look for. All right, let's get back to the news or your questions. Did your TCL phone have good RAM management? So apps don't need to reopen often. Yeah, it had 66 RAM. So honestly, the Pro was the one that I tested for over a month, and I never had really any issue from it. It was slow at times compared to a flagship one, but again, it's half the price of a flagship. So yeah, I will say it's slow at times, but pretty good one. Did it even have better signal than the Samsung flagship? Oh, you had the TCL Pro and the TCL 10L. I had both. The one that I tested for a longer period of time, the TCL 10L, I tested out for like 2 days. Just kind of see the battery life and how it was. The TCL 10 Pro, I tested out for over a month. Definitely love it. That is actually always going to stay with me now too. The TCL 10 Pro is going to be my vacation phone. One, because it's always good to have an extra phone. If you can, I'm privileged to have that. Let me just say that I'm privileged to be able to have an extra phone for a vacation. But the really nice thing, while I'll keep it around, is because it has a universal remote control with that IR blaster. So that one will always go with me. So when I go to hotels, sometime in the next 2 years, I can actually change the channel, control the TV with that remote more than the little remote they provide you with. We are sort of bummed we can't put the data app on the demo phones. We have to wait till June 28th, 2021 in Barcelona. The date app. Wait, you can't put the date. Wait, the date app like my date app, or what are you talking about? Let me know what you're talking about, Mullet Baby. Hey, no lip lag tonight. Well, that's good. I try to do that. Can you recommend the TCL 10 Pro or the 10L? I definitely recommend the TCL 10 Pro. Compared to the TCL 10L, I would also take a look at Blue G90 Pro. That one's a pretty good comparison for that price point. Different variables on there, but that would be another one I would recommend looking at that price point. But TCL 10 Pro I would definitely recommend. The only thing that you would also have to take a look at is the Pixel 4a, because for the price, that's going to take way better photos and have a really good battery life. Not that I ever had an issue. I mean, I pretty much got to the day with regular usage with the TCL 10 Pro. When I did strain it, though, it did go down like most other non-flagship phones, or even some flagship phones. When can I download Good Lock? It depends on your country. You could probably sideload it onto your phone just by going to something like apkmirror.com, and you could sideload it onto your phone that way. Did I miss the news? The S21 when have support? Slowly trying to get rid of the Note brand finally. So it will have S Pen support, yes. But it will not be included in it, meaning it will be a separate pen, not coming with it. So that is the distinction and why we could have a Note brand. But if anything, it basically signals that we're still going to either have a Note or we're going to have a Fold 3 with S Pen, one of those. Let's see. I have a Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, and I have more ANC Pro and Bluetooth earbuds. One more ANC Pro noise canceling band or Nick band style earbuds. Okay, the earbuds has LDAC. When I change the setting in developer options to it, it goes back to ACC. So a couple of things could be happening there. One, Samsung might not detect that you have that those headphones have that capability. Two, check and if there are any software updates from One More for that. Three, the audio output might not support it. So whatever app you're using might not support it. If it's built in, like on your phone, it should support just fine. But yeah, that's the thing. Thank you. Does always on display drain your battery? It drains it, I believe, 5% more than it normally would be throughout the day. So if at 7 p.m. at night, you normally would have 40%, you would have 35 instead. That's how much it drains it from my testing. Oh, got it, MFS motherfuckers. Wait, what was that? I know you asked that earlier. Oh, what is up with dudes? What is up with MFSs that still have 3G nowadays? Yep, I couldn't do it, but I understand that a lot of people are in different situations than me, and I am lucky for what I have. So, Sai, yes, that is the acronym for MFX. Got it. Will you be advertising a certain app coughing on the join feature? No, it will not be on the join feature, but yes, of course, I will always do our weekly plugin for our app. So if you do want to support the channel, one great way is to basically download our app, give it a 5-star rating, share it with friends and family. But it's a really great app for anyone that goes on a first date that is dating right now, or anyone that has a significant other and is bored out of their mind at home. So if you have anyone that has those situations, it's a great game to play. It's a great time killer. And you'd be surprised how answers do change over the years for your significant other that you've been with for a long time, or definitely how they could change over time and how you could find out, even with a person on a first date, what they're really into and what they're really interested in. It's a great icebreaker and definitely recommend it for anyone. 50 first date questions, links are in the description down below. What do you think the Galaxy Tab 3 Active? What do you think of the Galaxy Tab 3 Active? I work in the field and it's a rugged tablet, good camera, but I can only order international, not sold in the U.S. Um, I don't know about it, to be honest, so it's kind of hard for me to really talk about it. Yeah, see, like on Amazon, if I search for it, I can get the Active 2 or the newer Tab Active Pro. Um, but yeah, I do not know what that one is. The Tab Active Pro is a $600 one, and it has an S Pen, like a rugged S Pen. Man, those buttons look so dated. Like everything else on the tablet looks not current, but like slightly lower than before. Um, I will say this one has 15-hour battery life. That's crazy for a rugged tablet, you know. It has DeX, but it doesn't really say the specs for it. So yeah. My S20 has audio issues. That is that happening? I haven't heard about it happening, but I will say that obviously the one thing to always look out for is to what trends are happening. I mean, a great way to do that is on Reddit per se. But another thing to always kind of take a look at is Samsung members. Report any issue for it, and it could get patched in the security software update that comes out every month. So that is definitely something to always pay attention to. Sound on video chat's really low with the Galaxy earbuds. The only way for people to hear me. It could be that your mic isn't as good, or that it's something is messing with your audio. It could be an app that's built in that's making it lower. That is a possibility as well. But it's hard to say without it. It could be a lot of things. Unfortunately, it's hard to guess basically at that point. All right, guys, get those last minute questions in. And yeah, again, we're gonna have membership exclusive stuff. So if you are interested in those 20-minute to 30-minute drive talks, then make sure to subscribe to the channel, and it helps out. The membership does help out the channel. I'm testing it out for a little while, and we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't go well, then I might have to end it. But I think it's going to be something that kind of replaces the Patreon thing that I used to have. But it's a way to kind of give back to you guys, basically showing you behind the scenes stuff, also software stuff, how I do this kind of things. And I'm going to be getting an entirely new setup soon on this side. So stay tuned for that. I'm working on stuff to really make this production a whole lot more professional. So, starting to get the background going, everything like that with this kind of style. So we will see more and more things, namely though, videos that I've always wanted to do that I haven't been able to do. I don't think since I've started the channel I've been able to do that. A video with me standing over here with the camera right there, and you can see me talking with the product, and then still have an overhead camera as well. So very interesting things that I'm going to try to do that I'm hoping for will be good. Are you on 4K? No, my videos are recorded at 1080p at 60 FPS. 60 FPS will look a lot better on those 120 hertz to 240 hertz displays that smartphones and monitors have nowadays. But yeah, lots of cool things. That will I have? I might. I've thought about doing 4K footage again once I have this new setup complete. I think it might be definitely something accessible. Also, finally having a secondary camera too. You know, I want to be able to shoot straight on and overhead, but maybe like another shot over here kind of thing. So I'm definitely looking at the possibilities, what makes financial sense, what I can do to improve the channel while still, you know, falling in a budget. As the channel gets bigger, as the things get supported, I always believe in putting more money back on the channel. So that's what I always will continue to do on that side. So yeah. All right, guys. I think that we will call that a video for now. Again, let me know what videos or anything you would want to see from the iPhone rather than just the cases and accessories video. But a lot of fun stuff coming. I did promise you that Black Friday video, so that one will be coming out soon. And we have our first PlayStation 5 video coming out tomorrow as well. So lots of fun stuff coming. Let me know, again, everything you guys think in the comment section down below. And of course, make sure before you head out, please hit that like, thumbs up button. It really helps me out. All right, guys. Thank you as always again for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.